Welcome to BabbleCom5.
Yes, it's me again, live and unscripted, because something happened today that I was not anticipating happening, and that something was the arrival of an old folder of mine, which claimed to be a dissertation that I'd once done, and actually turned out to be something completely different. Stranger still, the discovery of this folder arose out of my separation from my wife. Which is one of those strange quirks in life, I suppose, which occasionally has a happier than you might expect ending. But on this particular occasion, it resolved the mystery for me, because as I came to put stuff up on the walls in my new abode, I realised I was missing something, and I had this very clear memory that I had this something, but I didn't know what had happened to it. And I looked in every box and every filing container, and then it wasn't turning up, basically. And now it has, and now I know why it had been sort of lost, and it was because it had gone with some of my wife's stuff, and it was in a particularly large container that hadn't been opened for a very, very long time by me, or indeed probably anyone else. So anyway, these things are now back in my possession, and you'll see from some of these things why Babylon 5 has always been such a big deal for me personally, and why it has a lot of quite special memories for me, because it was never just the show. For me, it was part of sort of a family, a social connection with other people through the internet, which in those days was a very, very new thing, which then led me to form friendships in real life, which was lovely. And that's why, amongst other things, it holds a particular place in my heart and my memories. So this is actually not the convention I want to talk to you about, but this is Wolf 359, The Alliance in Blackpool in 1997. And this is what happens when you put lots of sci-fi guys and gals in the same room together and then play things like Star Trek Across the Universe at them. Yeah, dancing does indeed ensue, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. If in case you're wondering, yes, I am in that picture. No, I'm not telling you which one I am. Haha, I had more hair. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this, I think the stuff that was in the folder relates to, well, as you'll see here, this was Wolf 359, The Gathering, and in those days the interwebs were not a thing that everybody had, so we used to get these paper spit-outs that sort of told us what to expect, what was going on, which hotels we needed to go to, and so on. So this was all in the sort of the information pack. So it was 15th to 18th of September 1995. There you go. So 27 years on, nearly. This year it'll be 27 years since my first ever proper pucker science fiction convention. And you might be able to just make out there, actually. Can you see that there is a wolf, but there was also a Babylon 5 station and an Enterprise D, and that was because this was a sort of a mixed convention. A lot of it was about Babylon 5, and it was possibly one of the first conventions that we actually had people from the series come over to the United Kingdom for. And those people were, in no particular order, Mr. Ed Wasser. Look at that. Look at the chest hair on that. I had no idea I had an Ed Wasser photograph, signed autograph at all. Absolutely no idea. Smiley face and everything. Look at that. And he's asking me what I want. Yeah, you don't get the red. So anyway, yeah. So that is Mr. Ed Wasser, who played Morden in the series, as you will undoubtedly know by this point. And here I have, and again, and this I did not remember that I had, Mr. Joe Michael Straczynski, ladies and gentlemen, in glorious A4 monochrome. I guess if you're the creator of a series like this, you don't necessarily fork out for the Technicolor headshots. But yeah, that's to me, that's signed by the great maker himself. I had no idea I had that until this moment in time. I'd completely forgotten about that. Now here's an odd one. Well, it's not an odd one, that's unfair. There, Major Roddenberry. In fact, Major Barrett, is she? Yeah, Major Barrett, that literally just came into my head right there. Now, you may be aware that she played a character as a guest star in Babylon 5, but of course she's more well known for being in the original Star Trek series, wife of Gene Roddenberry, and was always the computer voice in Next Generation. She played alongside Troy in the Next Generation, so quite a big Star Trek character to be at the convention. That was in the 1995 convention, so that was quite a big deal. Now, I've saved the best till last in honour of Medusa. She knows who she is. Many of you probably do as well. But at that convention was also Michael O'Hare. So brace yourself. Here he is. Look. Best to Andrew, Michael O'Hare. Sadly passed now. And as we discovered, there was a reason why he wasn't in the second season of the show. But there he is. And that was his headshot at the time, and he was present at that early convention in '95. I've got a lovely picture of him lying on a sofa showing us his socks, for reasons that those of you who are familiar with the series will appreciate. I also thought this rather nice little I don't really know where this is come. I don't know, that looks like a normal photo. I'm not entirely sure how or where or why that's come to pass. I imagine I probably paid for that, I don't know. But on the back of it, it looks very much like it's a sort of a normal sort of printed photo that you get from TruePrint or somewhere. So I'm not quite sure where that originated from. But that's that. I smiled when I saw that because I thought I might have to photocopy that one or do a copy of it for one Medusa. But this is the thing I was looking for. And this is the thing that I could not find that I really wanted to get framed, because I've had a few things framed that have been floating around in folders forever when I moved in here. And here we have a rather nice picture of Babylon 5 and a Star Fury flying past, and that is signed by Ed Wasser, Michael O'Hare and JMS. And that I have been looking for months now, at least. And I couldn't believe that I would have let it be have been thrown out somewhere. And lo and behold, it was indeed lurking in this folder, still in very, very good nick. And that's all of them. And Ed Wasser clearly likes his smiley faces because there's going to be another one there. But that's all of them together. And that, I think, will need to go to the framing shop and get framed at an exorbitantly high price, because that I've been looking for a long time. Other things I found. Also found this. The official collector's magazine, allegedly. Was it three of our British pounds at the time? That's an interesting angle for Babylon 5 on the front cover, isn't it? Looking at it, it's like, how can we get it on the front cover? We'll have to we're gonna have to put it on its as if it's like a 90-degree angle. As that's kind of okay. I haven't looked in this. I have no idea. Ooh, look, nice. Garibaldi and Zach, beautiful. There you go. Keeping the peace on patrol with Babylon 5's fire. That's a really complicated way to have to read it. And Radio about to get its comeuppance from them. It's pretty good actually. I'm trying to guess what era it was. Sheridan's in it, so it must be season 2 onwards. Jurassic Spark, Super Ivanova. Okay. Ooh, look. Old school wire meshes, there you go, look at that. That's an old school wire mesh rendering build up of the Star Fury there, that's nice. Had I ever had a machine at the time that was capable of doing such things, I probably would have tried to do that sort of thing, but no foundation effects, okay. That's quite interesting actually, I might have a read of that later on. It's got Marcus in it as well, this is at least 3rd season, that's good. And there's JMS again, look. There he is. Look at that. Bless him. Cool. Yeah, I'll have another read through of this. It's such an incredible time capsule sort of thing to have found, because this is over 20 years old now. Easily. easily 20 plus years old. Which obviously means I'm 27 now or something. Yeah. Wow, cool. Okay, that's cool. This one is also an interesting one. Now look at this, first collector's issue. Now I was a sucker for this stuff. I always bought issue number 1s of stuff in general in the 90s because I always thought they were going to be worth something. I have no idea if this is. But you'll notice here, free photo cards. Now, I said to myself, surely I don't still have my free photo cards. But never let it be said that I let the stuff go. Because of course as I started flicking through this, I realised this feels a little bit stiffer than you might otherwise expect. And actually, do you know what? I'd assume these were just sat in here, but actually these are fixed in. So there you have your free photo card. There's one there. That's really cool. None of these are autographed, by the way. These are just as is, I think. And we've got Franklin and Lundo there. I ought to be wearing gloves or something, shouldn't I? I'm being very sacrilegious here. There you go. So that's them. And what else have we got? Who else have we got? Oh yeah, we've got Jacquard. There you go. Jacquard with a rather nice white star shot there. Which I'm guessing is probably from Messages from Earth kind of era, were I to guess from the background imagery. So yeah, so that's another one to for me to have a look at. Oh wow, look at that. These are the wow. Those are the Babylon 5 videos. So they did release it on VHS tapes. There you go. Sorry, I'm jigging it around there. And they were so-and-so's for me to find in the UK, but fortunately I was taping it off Channel 4 anyway, so that didn't particularly matter. But yeah, so they did release them. I've seen a picture on Twitter recently of someone who's got the VHS tapes en masse, which is impressive because I mean, finding a VHS player these days is deeply unusual. But like that collector's edition, this is all very so again, this is end of season 3 stuff. There's even a comic in here actually, which is interesting. God, I don't remember this. Actually, no, I tell a lie, I do sort of remember this. Oh, it's cycle related. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, because I've got both the comics that are referenced here. I've got, so those two I have actually got on my shelves here. At some point I will show them to you, but I haven't done a video actually sort of focusing on them as such yet. But they did do a lot of sort of, and it is the comics are canon because JMS had input into them, so he okayed them and or wrote them. So the comics are canon, as are a lot of the novels that was spun off as well. They're very difficult to find these days, as I understand it. They're long since out of print, but they do exist. Yeah, so I just thought you would be interested in the sort of stuff that was around at the time. I mean, had I known I had these, I would have held off doing a merchandise video because these are clearly part of the merchandise for the show. Yeah, so it's really nice to have found those. I'm really glad I found those. Well, I didn't find them; they were found for me, effectively. But had I taken it for granted what was actually in the folder, I wouldn't even have found them. So I'm glad I opened it when I did. I literally only just picked it up today. And that was just one of the things that sort of made it more alive for me, because I'm surprised with myself because I didn't actually remember that I had the individually signed autographs. I remember the Babylon 5 and Star Fury. I have a really clear mental image of that in my bedroom in my parents' house, strangely. I can literally sort of picture it, and I knew it was in one of those sort of see-through A4 file folders that you get that you can just sort of slot things into. I knew exactly where it was and how it was kept. I just didn't know where it was. What had happened to it in various house moves along the line. So it's really nice to have found that again. So I hope that's brought back some hazy memories for those of you who are of a certain age. At the time of recording this, I have just found out, well, I think we've all just found out, obviously, not just me, that's big-headed of me, but apparently the I don't want to call it a reboot, let's call it a revisiting of Babylon 5, is not now going to be in production until 2023, which happily for me means that I get a chance to give you all of my original series synopses and thoughts before the new series comes along. So for the time being, the Babylon 5 that I remember and that some of you are rewatching and that some of you others remember from the first time round is still the only Babylon 5 out there as at the time of recording, which I think is quite nice for us as the oldies. And so, those of you who are unfamiliar and are looking forward to the new series, I'm afraid we'll have to wait a little bit longer. All being well, CW sale and everything else not throwing any spanner in the works. But yeah, so there you go. So I just wanted to share that with you. Just because I've just found it, and it's a part of my sort of personal history, I guess. Finding out that there are other people as similarly minded to me out there, which is always a reassuring thing. I'm just watching Sense8 on Netflix at the moment. So I don't know if you'll be familiar with that, but that's also co-written by J. Michael Straczynski. And if you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to have a look at that, because I find it really fascinating, very, very interesting concept, and very much in the sort of vein of stuff that I've come to expect from him, but shot in a really interesting real world way, because there are very few kind of sets. A lot of it is very much kind of out there in the real world, so it's well worth watching, and I think it reflects the sort of diversity of humanity, which I think is an important thing to try and bear in mind these days. Alright, so thank you for watching this. I hope you're not getting too many sort of drunken flashbacks to what might or might not have gone on in 95 and 97 Babylon 5 conventions, but that's for you to know and share with me if you care to. On the Lego front, my Eagle from Space 1999, still on Lego Ideas, about a month left, might make 1,999 supporters. Is clearly not going to reach 10,000 on this particular iteration, but if you have supported it, thank you very much. If you haven't, give it a last gasp effort if you care to, and hopefully I might reach the rather nice total of 1999, which would be fitting for it, I think, as it's in its death throes at the moment, but it's not far off. So thank you, and after this I shall crack on with season 4 of Babylon 5. Cheers for now. Bye.